Shalom Akim. I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashim Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashim Rakakwadash, for allowing me to do another lesson. Yahweh is who the world inwardly calls God, and Yahweh Shai is his son, who the world inwardly calls Jesus Christ. I want to give double honor to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone, and Shalom to the elect. And today I'm going to go into the book of Tobit, signifying how Isaiah said, though Israel be not gathered. And so let's just get into it, not going to do too much talking. Let the scriptures speak. This is Tobit, chapter 1, verse 1. The book of the words of Tobit, son of Tobiah, the son of Ananiel, the son of Advil, the son of Gabiel, of the seed of Asiel, of the tribe of Naphtali, who in the time of Enemessar, king of the Assyrians, was led captive out of Thisbe, which is at the right hand of that city, which is called properly Naphtali in Galilee about Asser. I, Tobit, have walked all the days of my life in the way of truth. In other words, he walked in the ways of Yahweh Shai, Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahweh Shai, and justice, and I did many alms deeds to my brethren and my nation who came with me to Nineveh and to the land of the Assyrians. Just as Tobit, we do many alms deeds. I'm giving alms right now by doing a lesson. Many brothers are giving alms all across the world, all right, by going out there camping on the highways and byways, all right, wagging a finger to our people and, to their oppressor. That's giving alms deeds. Another way you can give alms deed is by praying to Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahweh Shai to deliver us from this wicked demon, Esau Edom, the so-called white man. Okay? So it says, and when I was in my own country in the land of Israel, being but young, all the tribe of Naphtali, my father, fell from the house of Jerusalem, which was chosen out of all the tribes of Israel, that all the tribes should sacrifice there, where the temple of the habitation of the Most High was consecrated and built for all ages. Now all the tribes which together revolted in the house of my father Naphtali sacrificed unto the heifer Baal. But I alone went often to Jerusalem at the feast, as it was ordained unto all the people of Israel by an everlasting decree, having the first fruits and tenths of increase with that which was first shown. And then gave I at the altar to the priests the children of Aaron. The first tenth part of all increase I gave to the sons of Aaron, who minister at Jerusalem. Another tenth part I sold away and went and spent it every year at Jerusalem. All right, let me read back from verse 5. Now all the tribes which together revolted in the house of my father Naphtali sacrificed unto the heifer Baal. But I alone went often to Jerusalem at the feast, as it was ordained unto all the people of Israel by an everlasting decree, having the first fruits and tenth of increase with that which was first shown. Now again, when we liken it unto today in our lives, here it is, all of our people are, pushing to take the punch so they can continue to go on vacation, so they can continue to work. All right. However, we just, celebrated the feast of blowing the trumpets. We're about to go into the Day of Atonement, and then to the Day of Purim, and so on and so forth, the Passover. And for the most part, it's not widely known. As a matter of fact, our people look at these Amalekites as the Jews, meanwhile not knowing that they're the Lord's chosen people. Okay? And as we read the story, as we can easily see, that Tobit at this point was made a gazing stock, because he didn't follow the multitude to do evil. So he basically put himself out there as a prey by following Yahweh Hashem Yahushai, just like we do. All right, from from our beards, whether it be all scruffy, the fact that we don't have a headline, the fact that we don't eat pork, that we don't celebrate these holidays, we put ourselves out there as a gazing stock, as the scriptures say. All right, but it says, which you know what? Let me grab that because I was looking up that word, gazing stock, right? And it means, right? Was that Hebrews 10? Verse 32. But call to remembrance the former days in which after you were illuminated, ye endured a great fight of afflictions. All right. And Tobit, as we read on, he says, Tobit 1:7, the first 10th part of all increase I gave to the sons of Aaron who minister at Jerusalem. Another 10th part I stowed away and went and spent it every year at Jerusalem. And the third I gave unto whom it was meet, as the board of my father's mother had commanded me, because I was left an orphan by my father. Okay, so from a youth, Tobit, he learned the righteous ways of the Heavenly Father. As a matter of fact, in my Bible, it shows a synopsis, and it says, Tobit, his stock and devotion in his youth, his marriage and captivity, his preferment, alms and charities, and burying the dead, for which he is accused, and fleeth, and after returneth to Nineveh. Okay, so it says, which after you were illuminated, all right, after you find out the right way to live, after you find out that this place is against Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, ye endure a great fight of affliction. Why? Because people hate what they don't understand. Partly whilst ye were made a gazing stock, which again, that word gazing stock, when you look it up, it goes into one who is held in contempt. All right, and the word contempt meaning disgusting, basically. One who's looked at as disgusting, as the scum of the earth. All right, and partly whilst ye became companions of them that were so used. Right, first and foremost, becoming a companion with Yahweh Shai. As the scriptures say in Romans 8, he that hath suffered with me shall also reign with me. Okay, and then in like manner to those that follow Yahweh Shai, the apostles and the prophets of old that suffered for doing the right thing. All right, we literally cannot take this vaccination or the RFID chip because we are joined to Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai. Our life is Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai. Our bodies is Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai. Our spirit is Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai. And that makes us look stupid. All right, why would you lose your job? You know what I'm saying? Why would you lose your job because you felt like you couldn't take the punch? What's wrong with you? You gonna lose your house? You know what I'm saying? Now you know how them brothers that got kids or whatever, they may look at your wife may look at you like, what's wrong with you? How we gonna eat now? You know how women don't got no faith. So reading on in Tobit, this is furthermore, when I was come to the age of a man, I married Anna of my own kindred, and of her I begat Tobias. And when we were carried away captives to Nineveh, all my brethren and those that were of my kindred did eat of the bread of the Gentiles, which in my Bible, it's a King James Bible, so I'm looking at certain precepts on the side that takes me back to the Old Testament. All right, like it says, I married Anna of my own kindred. That takes you back to Numbers 36 and 7. All right, and then it goes down, and when we were carried away captives to Nineveh, all my brethren and those that were of my kindred did eat of the bread of the Gentiles. And it says, for that word bread of the Gentiles, it goes into Genesis 43 and 32. But it says, but I kept myself from eating because I remembered God with all my heart. And the Most High gave me grace and favor before any messer, so that I was his purveyor. Okay? But I kept myself from eating because I remembered God with all my heart. Now there was a what's that precept? And I think it's in Joshua. Slakia. See if I can try to find it. Where it says, as for me and my house, we will serve the Lord. Here we go. 24:15. You know, that's why it's super imperative for us to lock in these words. Because it's how we remember the Lord. We remember him through, first and foremost, through studying the scriptures. And then after studying the scriptures, he's going to send you through things. As he sends you through things, you then understand what you're reading. Okay? So that in a great day, the times of Jacob's trouble, you have that perfect relationship, you know? In a perfect relationship, you know, things that's understood doesn't necessarily have to be said, you know? So we're going to understand what Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai is doing to us and for us. All right? This is Job chapter 24, verse 15. 24 verse 14. Now therefore fear the Lord and serve him in sincerity and in truth, and put away the gods which your fathers served on the other side of the flood and in Egypt, and serve ye Yahweh. You know, and that's going to be the final test. Did you really put away your iniquities? Which our main iniquity was going away from Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai. And if it seems evil unto you to serve the Lord, choose you this day whom you will serve. Okay? Will you serve the devil, who's inevitably going to put you to death? Hell, he's going to put his own self to death, as the scriptures say. No flesh shall be saved. You know, if the Most High didn't shorten the days. Okay? Or whether the gods which your fathers served that were on the other side of the flood, or the gods of the Amorites in whose land ye dwell. But as for me and my house, the elect, we will serve Yahweh. And it's in us to serve Yahweh. When you go to John 17, Yahweh Shai himself said he gave us the words. You know, he put that, he gave us, Slaki, he gave us the words. All right, the book of, I want to say Psalms 139, Jeremiah 1, it speaks about how the Lord knew us from the womb. Okay? So now we read back in the Tobit, chapter 1, verse 14. And I went into Media and left in trust with Gabriel, the brother of Gabrius, at Rages, a city of Media, 10 talents of silver. Now when Enemessar was dead, Sennacherib his son reigned in his stead, whose estate was troubled, that I could not go into Media. And in the time of Enemessar, I gave many alms to my brethren, and gave my bread to the hungry, and my clothes to the naked. And if I saw any of my nation dead, I cast about the walls of Nineveh, I buried him. And if the king, and this goes to show you, man, how heinous and how brutal the Assyrians was, right? Because to be cast about the wall, you know, you can have your head is fucking cut off and put upon the stakes of the gate, you know, because that's what them Assyrians was doing. And this is what these modern day Assyrians, all right, as the Lord said in Isaiah 10, or Assyria, the rod of my anger. I buried him. And if the king Sennacherib had slain any when he was come and fled from Judea, I buried them privily, for in his wrath he killed many. But the bodies were not found when they were sought for of the king. And when one of the Ninevites went and complained of me to the king that I buried them, I hid myself, understanding that I was sought for to be put to death. I withdrew myself for fear. Then all my goods were forcibly taken away, neither was there anything left me besides my wife Anna and my son Tobias. And again, when we liken this into our life today, all right, which that's another thing too, as I was trying to, gather some information. Well, I was actually trying to get the meaning of the Hebrew name, or the meaning of the name Tobit in Hebrew. So I was looking on Wikipedia, and he had the nerve to say that this was a fictional story. But of course they would say that because you have to actually go through what the men of the Lord go through to understand what they go through. You have to walk the walk, so to speak. So we understand that these words are true. And as we're following Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahweh Shai, knowing that it is an act of treason, telling him that the Most High is going to come and terrorize him and destroy him, we should also be sought for to be put to death. Okay? That Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahweh Shai is going to do that. We're not going to do it. The scriptures say in 2 Corinthians 10 that our warfare is not carnal. So it says, I withdrew myself for fear, then all my goods were forcibly taken away, neither was there anything left me besides my wife Anna and my son Tobias. And there passed not 5 and 15 days before 2 of his sons killed him, and they fled into the mountains of Ararat, and Sarchedonus, his son, reigned in his stead, who appointed over his father's account and over all his affairs, Achiarus, I don't know how you say that, Achiarchus, my brother Anio's son. And Achiarchus, entreating for me, I returned to Nineveh. Now Achiarchus was cupbearer and keeper of the signet and steward and overseer of the accounts. And Sarchedonus appointed him next unto me, and he was my brother's son. So we have to follow Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahweh Shai regardless of the outcome, because it is our lot to. We proclaim into the world that it is our lot as Hebrew Israelites to follow Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahweh Shai. And we have to remember that this is us. There's no way we could walk away from Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahweh Shai. We were born for this, us of the hopeful elect. All right? No matter which way you look at it, you were born, as a man of the hopeful elect, we were born with the fear of Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahweh Shai. Okay? So this is Isaiah chapter 49, verse 1. It says, Listen, O isles, unto me, and hearken ye people from far. Yahweh hath called me from the womb, from the bowels of my mother hath he made mention of my name. And he hath made my mouth like a sharp sword, and in the shadow of his hand hath he hid me, and made me a polished shaft. In his quiver hath he hid me. Okay, so the Most High hid us under him. Again, I like to go into the Hebrew names of the different prophets. They all go into, like Yeshaya, Uriah, Jeremiah, Zechariah, all names ending in Yah, meaning remember Yahweh, praise Yahweh, Yahweh's salvation, So we're all really begotten sons of Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahweh Shai. We came expressly from him, man. In his quiver hath he hid me, and said unto me, Thou art my servant, O Israel, in whom I will be glorified. Okay, so this is what the Lord has said unto us. And we believe that in our heart. That's why the faith proves who a man really is. A man's faith proves who he really is. Then I said, I have labored in vain, I have spent my strength for naught, and in vain, yet surely my judgment is with the Lord, and my work with my God. Let me read that again. Then I said, I have labored in vain, I have spent my strength for naught, and in vain, yet surely my judgment is with Yahweh, and my work with my God. And now saith Yahweh, that formed me from the womb to be his servant, to bring Jacob again to him. Though Israel be not gathered, yet shall I be glorious in the eyes of Yahweh. Again. And that was on a small level, as we read Tobit, and Tobit was made a purveyor, just like Nehemiah under the hand of the Persians, was made a cupbearer. So he received as the scriptures say, if a man's ways please the Lord, he make even his enemies to be at peace with him. And the Most High is going to humble this devil through us. Just like as I speak of it, I think about the Daniel. You know how the Most High humbled Nebuchadnezzar. All right, and at the end of the day, he had no choice but to, when the Most High turned him into a dog, and then the Most High gave him his right mind, he had no choice but to come back to Daniel and bless his power. So that's going to be at the end of the day. Right now, as we read, though Israel be not gathered, right now Israel's not gathered, yet shall I be glorious in the eyes of Yahweh, and my power shall be my strength. And he said, and well, that was the point. I just want to stop it right there. And my power shall be my strength. Okay? So our goal in life is to follow Yahweh Hashem Yahushai. That's our happiness. All right? This is the book of Psalms chapter 25, verse 21. Verse 17. The troubles of my heart are enlarged. O bring me out of mine distresses. Look upon my affliction and my pain, and forgive all my sins. Consider my enemies, for they are many, and they that hate me with evil, with cruel hatred. O keep my soul and deliver me. Let me not be ashamed, for I put my trust in thee. Remember Israel, Salakia. Let integrity and uprightness preserve me, for I wait on thee. Redeem Israel, O God, out of all his troubles. All right. So redeem the elect out of all their troubles. That's the point. Hey, so if that, shalom to the elect.